easy go.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Sergeant Armadillo, and today I just wanted to talk about the main differences that so far that I've experienced between Paladins and Overwatch. I played Overwatch since launch, and it had become one of my favorite games of all time. And I played non-stop, played it a ton. I was a hard gold rank, and oh man, like I couldn't get out of gold, but that's okay. That's okay. I was fine in gold. But recently, I have been playing a lot of Paladins. I stopped playing Overwatch a couple months ago, mostly because when you play if you want to play a hero that is outside of the meta, there is such toxicity in the game, in the chat and everything. So if you pick a hero outside of the current meta or the presupposed meta, then it becomes almost unplayable because people start throwing, people start just playing like crap in general intentionally, or whatever have you. And so it became very frustrating to play. And I love the game, and it hurts to not play Overwatch, but it just got to the point where I couldn't do it and still have fun. So over the past month, I've been playing a lot more Paladins recently. Now, I did play Paladins a couple years ago when it was still within like a year of its release, and the game back then, it was good, but it was not great. And so I've come back to the game over the past month, and I had to basically relearn everything. It took a good minute to relearn it all, but I really enjoy where the game is at now with Paladins. And so much so that I'm far more willing to play Paladins now than Overwatch. What I wanted to do is I just wanted to talk about so far what I've seen the differences and my opinions between being a veteran Overwatch player and being a new Paladins player. So to get started, I would just like to talk about the balance of the game. I think this is like the biggest topic of the games that we can take right now. And so with Overwatch, the balance of the game has been up and down. And so we've gone through hard metas in Overwatch, where there have been, there was the obvious GOATs, we went through dive, we went through double sniper, we've gone through all these different metas that were very prominent. And while that's fine to have heroes that are naturally stronger than others in a balance, the problem with it became is that there weren't fast enough patches for Overwatch. And so you got this problem where there was a meta that would last 9 to 10 months or longer, just because the devs wouldn't update terribly fast, or they wouldn't update at all, and they would introduce new heroes that were designed to just completely counter the meta. Brigida. And the thing is, like, when it's so slow and meticulous like that, and when you try to like really like do fine tuning to adjust something, it leaves a stale taste in a player's mouth. And so that's kind of what I developed over time with the balance. I think honestly the balance of Overwatch is pretty decent at the moment, and we just got a new PTR patch that rolled out. That was pretty sweet to see. McCree got the buff and everyone else got the nerf, but that's cool. That's cool. But honestly, I do think the balance is in a pretty decent spot. I think there are things that can be improved upon, but the overall balance of like hero pick is pretty okay at the moment. Now there's a difference between finding equal value in every hero and just picking a hero whose kit is just naturally better. And like we could go into that, but I don't really want to right now. And so Overwatch's balance is pretty decent right now, but I have to say, playing Paladins recently, the balance of the game has actually been really nice. Like, I have not found heroes or champions, I guess, in Paladins. I've not found champions I can't really counter, which is great. I love being able to have an option against every hero or every champion. It's so refreshing to know that I can pick as a damage hero pretty much anyone and have a fighting chance against pretty much anyone so far. Again, I'm new to Paladins, but right now the balance, it just feels good. It just feels kind of refreshing to play. It's like drinking a nice glass of water when you haven't had water in forever. It is just nice. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it feels good to play. So as far as the balance of the two games go, I think Overwatch is in a pretty decent spot, but honestly, I think Paladins, coming into it fresh and new, it feels really good to play. I don't know if that is just because I got players fatigue with Overwatch and the balance, it just felt really off to me, but the balance in Paladins just feels good. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was map design. So Paladins in Siege mode, which is the competitive mode and everything, I really like how they designed the maps in Paladins. Okay, so in Overwatch, every map is linear. It is designed to take you from point A to point B, or no, point C, whatever. But the map has a flow to it, has a very obvious beginning, a very obvious end, with the terrain in between. Whereas Paladins, the siege mode, and they don't have varying payload modes. It is just the one where you have to take the point in the middle, like King of the Hill, and then you escort it to the other end of the map. What I really love about the Paladins maps is that they are mirrored for the most part. So when you capture the cart in the middle, it spawns a cart, and when you take it to the other side, it is an exact reflection of how you got there. And I really appreciate that because it keeps maps fairly simple, and it just has a different aesthetic to it. It feels far more MOBA to me when you do it that way, it's good. I really enjoy having mirrored maps in Paladins. However, I will say that the art team for Blizzard is amazing. I love the design, the aesthetic, the look of Blizzard maps. It really, when you play a Blizzard map, it feels like you're there. It feels very awesome. It's very immersive the way they design things, and they have a long history, Blizzard does, of having an art style that just really brings you into their worlds. Like WoW, for example. I mean, oh my goodness, whoa. But in Paladins, I'm not saying they don't, but I think it also comes with the art style and the overall just kind of production quality. Not to say that, no, I don't think that Paladins has bad design. I think Paladins has good design, but I think just with the art style and the kind of direction they took the game as far as graphic level and such, the Paladins design maps are good. They don't have that immersive quality to them. But overall, I actually really enjoy both sets of maps on both games. I may be a new player, but map appreciation, you don't have to play a game very long to have map appreciation. The final difference I really wanted to highlight between the two games were the heroes or the champions. Overwatch spent a great deal of time in the beginning and up through about the year-and-a-half mark of the game's release, really creating an aesthetic for the heroes. So when they would design a hero, the heroes, they would get either like a cinematic or they'd get this big release, and it'd be awesome and such. And I think Overwatch, they poured a great deal of time into lore initially, or at least building the hope for lore initially, which was one of the things that drew me into the game in such a way. However, over the latter year and a half, really when Overwatch League started getting pretty big on their radar, it felt like hero production quality kind of went down. And this comes in both the lore and the kits they started going with. Now, this is coming after 3 years of fighting through it, or 3 or 4 years, whatever it is. So yeah, it just felt like a lot of the lore was just starting to tank. Not in a bad way, but they weren't connecting the dots in the ways that a lot of the community was hoping they would. They weren't delivering a lot of the juice we are all hoping to get, just the constant lore updates and such. And also the kits they started giving heroes, it really started going downhill, in my opinion, with Brigitte. It's not a bad thing to want to counter a meta, but they did it with a single hero. Now they have admitted that that wasn't a good move on their end, so that's fine. But it just seems like we had Brigitte, who had an extensive kit. She had 2 crowd controls. She could do all this healing without even trying. She could apply armor and such. I mean, it was insane. And she had a barrier. And then you got a hero like Moira that came along, and Moira can do AoE healing. She does constant auto lock damage. She has the orbs that can do even more healing or even more damage. She has an ultimate that does healing and damage at the same time, and she also has an escape ability. And so you started getting these heroes that were less based on, it felt like they were less based on FPS and more based on MOBA style abilities and kits, whereas original Overwatch heroes felt like they were based on FPS style gameplay. Now, this is not bad to have one or the other, but we start introducing FPS versus MOBA. You really have to make a decision if you want to make the game feel like a first-person shooter, or if you want to feel like a MOBA. Because if you're going to make it feel like a MOBA, you have to be adding in kit and abilities into the game for pre-existing heroes so they can dance with the new heroes that are coming out. We've seen that it has become very difficult for them to be able to balance the damage of FPS heroes against the kit of the new heroes, or vice versa. And so with the heroes, it just felt like in Overwatch it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I'm not saying that they're bad heroes. I'm not saying that they are hugely, massively disappointing. But hindsight is 2020. And so when you look at what Overwatch did over the past 3-4 years, you look back and say, "Oh my gosh, why did they do this?" Now, the new patch looks promising, and from what I hear, there's gonna be a new developer update coming soon for Overwatch, which when it comes out, I'll probably do a video on that. So there are promising things coming for the Overwatch heroes and all that, but it felt like a letdown over the past 3-4 years in what has been going on. Now, Paladins, on the other hand, coming into it and playing new, it has been wonderful playing the heroes. It feels like every hero is a solid kit. It feels like you can get value of everyone you play, except I will say it feels not good to play tanks right now. Frontline is my least favorite category to play. It just feels like you do little damage or it feels like you contribute little. You don't feel like you're doing a lot for the team. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's nice when you get to play a category where you feel like you're contributing. So I love playing damage and I love playing support. I think the way Paladins has balanced its supports is amazing. Having supports where they all can deal a pretty decent amount of damage and still do a pretty decent amount of healing is awesome. It just gives you more options. I love that. I love it. And so coming into Paladins, you knew the hero balance just feels good. I have not looked into the lore a whole lot for Paladins, but I know they've kept it fairly shallow, which I think is a good thing. I think they didn't strive for attaining something that would have so much expectation behind it. They shot for where they knew they could go, and they hit it. The cinematics have been good. They've been giving us just cool little, like, ooh, look at that. That's a new champion. Oh my goodness, they're going to fight that champion. Oh my goodness, it's an explosion. You know, it's like Michael Bay trailers. They're really awesome. Very cool. So all in all, I really think with the heroes, I really love Overwatch's lore that they've poured into every character and the design and the kit and everything, and you feel like you're experiencing them. And their voice acting in Overwatch is top notch. It is stellar. It is amazing. Matthew Mercer, I will take you to Taco Bell. However, so far in Paladins, I really appreciate the design of the kits more. It feels like you're playing a lot of heroes based more on their abilities as opposed to being just first person shooters, and those that are more FPS type hero or champions, I feel like are balanced pretty well comparatively. There's also in Paladins, no one-shot kills. Freaking hate that in Overwatch. Widowmaker and Hanzo can go suck a nugget. So yeah, Overwatch, love the hero design and the lore. Paladins, love the kits and the direction. They knew what they were aiming for and they hit it with. So far, it feels like they've hit it with every hero in Paladins. In the end, I have to say that Overwatch is still a really great game. It is tons of fun. It has just become incredibly toxic, and it feels like Blizzard have had too many letdowns over the past 3-4 years to really retain interest. So coming into Paladins, being new to it over the past month, it's felt like I said earlier, just drinking a nice glass of water. It's just refreshing, it is new, it is exciting. It gives me something to look forward to rediscover and to learn. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help the channel out. And if you guys would like to catch me stream, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Sergeant Armadillo. That's SARGENT, as you can see on your screen. So please drop by, drop a follow, or you could watch me on YouTube. I stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, all of which you can just find at Sergeant Armadillo. Alright, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.